Hey there, it's Lisa Niven Kelly here for Beachucation.com. In today's video, we're going to teach you how to make bald head pins and bald ear wires. So that's a wire with a ball at the end. We're going to use fine silver wire and a torch. Don't fear that torch, we got you covered. But this was shot as a live stream over on Facebook Live, and we've edited it here. But if you hear reference to us saying hi to people or talking about a giveaway that's over, just ignore that. The content is great and you're gonna learn a lot today. And hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe give us a thumbs up if you like it, and leave a comment if you have a question. We will get back to you. On that note, maybe you want to subscribe and hit this little button right here. I don't know, just an idea. But for now, let's get into the video. Did you subscribe? Right here in this little button? Did you? Super excited.
Hi, it's Beachucation Live with Mel and Lisa. I'm Mel McCabe, product manager here, and this is Lisa, CEO and Queen Stamper.
Queen Stamper.
Yeah, Queen Stamping Bee.
You're funny. Hey, welcome everybody. Today, you want to tell them or should I tell them?
I gotta tell them, we
good.
are gonna
She'll tell
be
you.
showing you guys how to do bald head pins from fine silver wire. And in turn, bald ear wires, which people love those little bald ear wires, kind of like kidney wires, they sometimes
it gives
call
it
them.
such a little cute
Pop.
finished look.
It looks perfect.
And we'll show you those.
And my favorite thing about what we're showing is it came from someone in last week's show saying, oh, I wish we could learn how to do the bald ear wires and bald head pins.
Yeah, we were showing the samples from the Etsy class.
That's
We were
right.
like, hey, what's up with that bald one? We want to do that.
So you guys chime in. First of all, give us a heart if you like the show that we're showing you, and tell us your comments. And when you see Lisa doing stuff, just say, oh my gosh, I want to learn that. Or if you see something, we love how it kind of spawns a whole new idea.
Yeah, we have an ongoing list of your suggestions. We have next week and the week after planned out, but we can fit anything into any live episode because, as you know, at Beachucation, we are here to teach.
We're here for you, and we listen
We're here
to
for
you.
you. Okay, so today we're going to be getting a torch and some fine silver wire and balling up some wire, making it into head pins and ear wires. Okay, so here is our setup. And please, Helen, hi, everybody please chime in, tell us where you're from, tell us what you're up to, and what we're looking at here. Well, over here is a bunch of pliers and stuff because I'm going to show you what to do with them. Thank you, Vanna. What to do with those bald head pins. But to ball it up, you need a torch. You need some fire. Let me move this out of the way.
Fire.
We sell 3 different torches. I'll give you a quick overview. This is kind of an economy one. The temperature is a little bit lower. It's called the Micro Torch. This is the Blazer one. These two have the same temperature, but this is a little bit pointier of a flame, and this is bushier, so you can kind of get the heat in more places like at once. They all work for this balling head pins. So I'm going to use this one, the Blazer, just because it's easy to turn on and off. I love it. But all 3 of these will get hot enough to melt your fine silver wire into a ball. So right here I've got a surface to protect my table. I've got on some protective eyewear. I've got on some, what do they call them?
Safety goggles.
That's it, safety goggles. And this is a charcoal block and a soldering pan here that swivels. I love this thing. This is not needed for this. It's just what I always have on my soldering station. You do need something like a block or this underneath it in case when you ball up your wire, you get a little out of control and you make the ball too big and it falls off. And that is possible. Unlikely unless you're getting crazy, but you want to make sure that that hot ball of metal lands somewhere safe. If it lands down here, it might roll off. That could cause some issues. Be kind of a bummer. So this is fine silver wire that I have in my hand. It's 20 gauge, and you can tell I always do this to straighten the wire. Actually, it's not really necessary for what we're going to do. I do it to straighten it and harden it, but we're about to form a ball, so it's basically going to anneal it, and we're going to straighten it afterwards. So I don't know why I'm doing that. Habit. I've got some flush cutters. I'm just going to cut a piece off. All right, so 20 gauge. I've got my torch.
Does this work with regular sterling, or do you have to use fine silver?
Great question. I will talk about that. You can ball up sterling, but it's not great, and I'll explain why. I've got a piece here that I'll show you. Fine silver is a pure metal, so it balls and forms around itself very happily. sterling is an alloy. And so with all those mix of metals, you run into like fire scale and it doesn't ball up as regularly. I'll show you in a minute. Good question, Mel. So you want to hold it in some pliers, some tweezers or pliers if you have crappy pliers. You don't want to hold it in your hand because, it's going to get hot. I like these cross-locking tweezers because once you let go, they shut, so it holds really easily. Yeah. And then I'm just going to turn on my torch and I'm going to touch the flame, the tip of the flame, the hottest part, the tip of the blue cone. I'm going to kind of dip my wire in it, and you may not be able to see it like super well from this angle, but let me see what I can do. I'll zoom in. Let me get the black underneath, so maybe that might work well. I'll try to hold, if I hold it to the side, it's going to make a ball that's sitting off the side. So let's try this. All right, I'm going to light this guy. I'll lock it.
Well, and they can let us know what they see, and you could always do it one more time if they couldn't see it specifically.
Yeah, thanks. That's a good point. So you can just sit your torch on the table if you want. I would brace it with your hand, but you kind of want it this angle. I'm just used to holding it. So make sure, again, we're doing torch safety here. There's nothing flammable around. You've got your goggles on. You've got natural clothing or natural fiber clothing.
Your hair back.
Your hair back. That's a good point. So you see this tip right here? That's the hottest part. You don't want to like just stick it in there and wait because it will happen really fast. So I kind of dip it a little bit to kind of introduce it.
Hello.
And then, hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And I kind of dip and pull out, dip and pull out. And the ball's already formed.
Whoa! That was awesome and fast.
Turn this off and I'll show you how to deal with this.
You know what I like to say?
What?
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Nice, I love it. Okay,
that was awesome.
So see that ball, see that little point at the end? That's because I just pulled it out too fast. So I wanted to turn it off to show you guys that, but you can just dip it back in to have that go away. I just sort of hit it at the bottom. The whole thing needs to heat up a little bit. That's a little better. Yeah.
Looks great.
I'm not going to touch it because it's really hot. You guys see that? And then you want to quench it.
In your cooling cup.
In your cooling cup, which is right here. See? It's hot. Now it's not hot. So there's my nice little ball.
Wow. I love it.
Let's do it one more time. So I just cut a piece of wire off. You can make the ball bigger or smaller than that one. That's about the average size. If you go too big though, it could fall right off the wire. So again, I like to introduce it so I'm not like shocking it, and then just hold it right there and you'll see, boop, like there's a little ball.
Wow.
Or let it go up a little bit more.
I like that you can go back in too.
Yeah. And again, because it's fine silver, you're not going to get any copper oxides coming to the surface, which are the start of yucky fire scale. Pretty cool. And then zip. And now it's cold enough to handle. So let me grab those two out of the water.
Wow. It's ready for making some
Actually,
earrings.
that's a different one. Yeah. Pretty
Oh, I
straightforward,
think it was
huh?
this one.
Okay. So now, hey, Claudie, can I have you come grab this and move it out of the way? We'll put the torches over here. Now let's get this out of the way, and I'll show you, now that you are so awesome and you have bald head pins. Here, I'll hold on to this one. I'll show you what you can do with it. So let's zoom back out. Oop. There we go. Tracy, welcome. She asks, I missed it. What gauge wire are you using? I'm using 20 gauge, and that is because I'm going to make this into an ear wire. And like we talked about last week, if you guys didn't catch last week's episode, we showed you how to make ear wires. So by making a little bald head pin, like we just did, let me try to get it nice and close here. You can make that into a head pin, or you can make it into an ear wire. So let me show you an example of, I just made this morning, and it is an earring where the bead rests on a bald head pin and it's hanging from a bald ear wire.
Very cute.
I know, it's so cute. All right, we got another question. If you were to use sterling, could you remove the fire scale by sending it through the tumbler? The tumbler won't remove fire scale. You have to actually put it in a pickle solution or scrub it off. What the tumbler does, if you put something in that's like oxidized or has fire scale, it makes it a shiny black rather than black. Have you had that experience?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the sterling right now that you brought that up, because it's a good point. So here is a sterling piece that I balled. And what happens with sterling, again, because it's an alloy, so there's a little bit of mixed metals in there, it's not a pure metal, it balls up, but it ends up oftentimes looking like a golf club. It kind of hangs off the side. And I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a little pock mark in there. Can you see that, Mel? Mm-hmm. It's a little dark. But so it doesn't ball up great. But I mean, there's lots to do with this. Sure, like use some Shine Bright and get that off, or put it in pickle. You could hammer it flat. You could do a lot with this. I prefer to do it with fine silver because it's so much smoother and easier. Mm-hmm. So let's make the second of this earring. Cool? Mm-hmm. What you want to do first, fine silver, as you know, is crazy, crazy soft because it's that pure silver. So I'm going to harden this by... And this is a trick I learned from my friend Chris Silva, which leads me to my next point, which is Chris teaches a class for us on beacheducation.com called Making Your Own Bald Head Pins. And we'll put that up in the comments there. But she goes into more detail how to make them on 16 gauge and 14 gauge and thinner, and how, what's involved with making them bigger or smaller. So you may want to check that out.
Because it's free.
Oh yeah, it's free, baby. So what I'm doing here is I'm holding down by the ball with my nylon jaw pliers. I'm going to hold it really hard down there. I don't want to do that with a regular chain nose because it will mar it. So let's get a little closer there, okay? And then I am going to hold it out here with the chain nose. I'm going to hold it real hard. This will mar it at this end, but I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to sort of take my pliers, I'm going to pull them away from each other as I twist. Yeah, and this actually ends up hardening the wire.
And you're just twisting it.
Yeah.
Wow.
See how it's so much springier now?
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Because when you go to make this into a link or an ear wire, you don't want it to be so soft that you lose your shape. But like when I go like this, it's much more springy. Okay, so for this one, let's put the bead on. So a bead, I'm going to turn a basic loop at the top. That's another free class on our site, and we'll put a link up there in the comments. Again, this is a live quick show. I'm just going to do it straight through and talk you through a little bit, but hop over there to hear me babble about how to make basic loops for like an hour. I get kind of into it. I'm a little bit of a basic loops dork. All right, so using the flush side of my cutter, I'm going to trim this. And I made this really long, but I can go ahead and ball up the end and do
another
else
head
with
pin.
this. Yeah. I don't know why I cut it so long. So there I've got about a ½ inch. I'm going to come in with my round nose and turn my loop. And I may make loops different than you, but this is what works well for me. I kink it back. Sometimes I over kink it a little bit, so then when I rock it forward, everybody's centered.
Love it.
Cool. All right, there is a bead. Needs a little straightening on a bald head pin. Super cute. Let's put it on an ear wire. Here's my other bald head pin that I just made, and I'm first going to harden it. I am going to hammer this a little bit, and it's something we didn't go into last week's Facebook Live, so I'm happy to do it here, showing you how to harden your ear wires.
Hey Lisa, I have a question.
Yeah, what do you got?
Torches. Are you going to maybe talk a little bit more about the different torches? We have a question on what do you think is the best all-purpose torch out of what we carry?
Okay, yes, let's do that when we have the camera back up.
Okay.
Right before we end, will you remind me? It's a great question, thank you. And we do have torch safety and all about your torches classes on our site that go into it, but I'm happy to answer it a little bit here. All right, so we've got here, this is going to be our ear wire. So first thing I'm going to do is hold just above the ball with my round nose. I'm kind of letting it stick out, and then I'm just going to make a little basic loop. Let me try to change my position so you can see right there. Okay. Don't squeeze too hard with your round nose because, like we talked about last week, just the dynamics of how they come together will mar it up. Basic little. And then our tool that we gave away last week.
The wrap and tap.
Pretty chunky giveaway last week. We are going to hold it like this. And I'm going to bring the wire around the back. Or you could hold it the other way and bring it around the front. It's whatever's most comfortable to you. Okay. So because I was shifting my hand, this got a little wonky, right? Look at that. That's not okay. It's so soft right now that you can put everything on the proper plane with just your hands. I'm going to trim it a little bit. It's a little bit long for me. And give it that nice little kink that keeps it from heading out of your earlobe. Oh, look, Mel, look, isn't that so pretty?
I love it.
Yay, it's so good. Okay, so from here you would sand this or use a wire rounder to make sure this isn't very pokey. Now, here's the deal though. This guy is really, really soft. If your child were to pull on your earrings, he'd probably, or she, would pull it right out of shape. So I'm going to put it on a bench block. I like to put a bench block on a sand bag. It helps with noise, and it gives enough resistance so you don't get a bounce back if you're stamping. Plastic mallet, if you didn't have a bald head pin, you can all over the place. I don't want to hit that bald part because I'm going to flatten it if I do. Now, if that's a look you're looking for, and I will show you one, it's pretty cool. Go ahead and do that. But if you want to keep it round, hang this off the side of the bench block. And you don't have to be too gentle here. This is plastic, so even though it's hitting it on metal, it's not going to flatten it too much. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. So see now when I go like this?
Oh.
Well, my hands are really thrash. I must have been making some jewelry. Much better, right? You can even, if you want, hit this little loop right there, because you don't want that to pull open either.
Like this guy.
Yeah, so if you did flatten the ball, it would look like this, which is pretty cute.
I think so too.
I like the looks of that. Sometimes I do take a chasing hammer and I do flatten a little bit up here.
I like that look.
I like the look,
Me
yeah,
too.
for sure. And then if you're actually flattening it, well then, whoa, you're really hardening it, which is in this case a good thing. So this guy is really springy. We're getting lots of hearts.
I
now.
love it. Are you going to add the bead?
It's like Hearttown, USA.
I love
happening over
that.
here. Hey, welcome, Carrie. Veronica says, very cute. Thank you. And sorry if we're not catching your comment. You guys, they fling through really fast. We'll try to answer them. We've got Claudia looking on the computer. So if you did want to hammer this flat, you beep, 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 beep. You like the sound effects?
I did like that.
That's the sound it makes. Beep, 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 beep. And then it would match this guy. But because we're making a match for this one, I'm going to leave it as a bald head pin or ear wire. Okay. All right, so now we've got the ear wire and we've got the bead on a head pin. So all we need to do is open this loop gently, insert your, or you could have done the opposite. I don't like to really mess with my ear wires. Close the loop, make sure it's nice and closed. Any opening, that little ear wire will sneak through. I'm going to look at it at all angles, make sure everybody's happy and straight. And now
Super cute set.
we've got a little pair of earrings. And I mean, how long did that take me? Like,
Not long.
if I wasn't talking, 5 minutes
I
maybe?
agree.
And it just gives your jewelry such a pretty finished look. So the thing I wanted to show you guys that's really super fun is if you make a ball that's sort of bigger than maybe one that you would use on a ear wire, you can flatten it and stamp it.
I love it.
I know, let's do it. Here, let me zoom in. I should have zoomed in when I was torching. Oh, there we go. So first of all, no matter what, just to get into a good habit, you want to try to harden this because it's so soft from it being fine silver. So I'm going to hold it in one hand with my nylon jaw and hold the tip out here with my chain nose, and I'm going to kind of twist it. I'm also pulling my hands away from each other. and it hardens it really nicely. That's so that if you were just to turn a basic loop at the top with a bead on it, it wouldn't be so soft that it would pull right open, right?
Love it.
Okay, so this is pretty decent size. Ooh, sorry, extreme close up. And I'm gonna hammer it flat with my chasing hammer. I notice the ball's a little wonky, so hopefully I can do it in a way where it'll stay centered. Oh my God, that looks so
That looks nice.
good.
I even
The
like it
other
just
one
like
that I did earlier, wasn't that good? Yeah, I mean, that would be a great head pin.
Yeah, it'd be really
Just
cute.
stick a bead on there, turn a loop, call it a day, right? But you don't want to go any thinner than the wire. You might risk breaking it off. I did have a bald head pin here. I want to show this guy. I made this one earlier today, and do you see how thin the wire is right before the ball? That's from overheating it and having the flame at the wrong place. I wouldn't use this because likely it's just going to snap off once it bends back and forth like that. So I've got 3 tiny little stamps here that would look great on that head pin. We also have like a little spiral and a couple of the new little ones that we launched, a little square.
Probably even our tiniest tall heart and fat heart
Ooh,
would be
those
really
little
cute
baby
too. Yeah.
ones. I should have grabbed that. All right, I'm going to do the flower.
I like that that's the daisy.
Yeah, the daisy. It's not going to show the whole thing, but it will show, it has a lot of pattern in the middle, and that's what I like. So here we go. Pick which side you want to work on. This side's fine, it's just dirty from the gunk on the bench block. Okay. Thanks, Holly Ann, for the hearts, and look at you, you're all the way in Britain. Let's hear your accent, Mel, because I'm horrible. You got a British accent?
Oh, hi, Holly Ann. How are you doing there in Britain?
Oh, that was good.
Ooh.
I should have hit it a little harder. You can kind of see. It didn't go so great because I was trying to hit it soft, thinking that it's fine silver, but forgetting that I just hardened it.
That's right.
You big silly.
I
So
still
let's-
thought it looked lovely jubbly.
Oh, lovely. You're funny. Okay, let's go harder. Oh, hello.
Oh, that's really cute.
Oh, so cute. Look at that, you guys. So super cute.
You know, it's funny, but it almost makes it look kind of like a Thai head
Yeah, I
pan,
was
like
thinking
or
the
a
same
hill
thing.
tribe silver, the way that you did that.
Especially with the flower on it.
Yes,
huh?
yes.
Let's just put a little black in there, and it'll so we can show.
I
the
can't believe how
detail.
fast you were able to do that. Like, that's really cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. And you guys can use this as, you know, not just earrings that we were talking about today, but like as a pendant. You can do it on a, your key is finding, you don't want to go a lot smaller because this is such fine wire. You could do a wrapped loop at the top if you went smaller. If you had a bead with a big hole, it'd be even cooler to go much bigger, like an 18 gauge wire, because then you can get a big ball. In the
I love
bottom.
that.
Look how cute that is.
Very cute.
Oh, I'm really happy about this. This is cool. Okay.
Can you remind us of the wire gauge? I'm sorry.
20 gauge is what I'm using today. 20 gauge fine silver, which balls up nicer than sterling. I showed in the other live that this is a sterling bulb. And you can see it's kind of like got pock marks and it sits off to the side, and then you have to deal with fire scale and copper oxides and that sort of fun stuff. It's fine. I mean, I could maybe hammer this flat. It might look kind of cool. I don't know. Let's try.
It's actually kind of cool for like an oxidized look.
Yeah. Or you can pull that off really easily with steel wool or
Yeah.
or penny bright or whatever. So sterling works too. It's so smooth and almost perfect with
Fine silver. And
Fine
a little
silver.
less work for you, too.
yeah, totally. Okay, let's go back around. For those of you, like in our private group, I hear a lot of people talking about how they're scared of the torch. Don't be scared. My friend Aisha and Kate, who have already chimed in the group, who are 2 of our soldering instructors, they will talk you down. Watch their videos online. They will tell you, don't be scared. I mean, if you ruin this bald head pin by maybe making it too big and it falls off, you just wasted 2 cents.
Right.
Not a
Yeah,
big
good
deal,
point.
right? And make it too big till it falls off, so you know where that limit is, so you can like get used to that. And know
That's
where
a
to
good
stop.
point.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk really quick about the torches. The question, I would say, it's hard to say an overall torch. I would probably go with this one, the big one, because it gets the same temperature as this blazer, but it's bushier. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but
And what's the benefit in that?
I don't know if they can see that. Yeah.
Can you see it? Oh.
It's bushier, so if you're trying to solder a large area or keep metal warm or anneal, it goes faster because it. Stephen James also prefers this for his enameling classes. This guy is way pointier. If you can see that.
Oh, yeah.
That definitely has its benefits as well if you're trying to get into a small spot. But they both hit the same temperature. I don't know if that's a good starting point for you. This is a great torch to start with. Most people do. And if they need more heat or they need a pointier flame or a bushier flame, they change from there. But this is one I worked on forever. What one do you have at home?
I think I have this one.
The blazer? Yeah.
And you guys are going to be the first to know about this exciting products.
I know, it's pretty
I
awesome.
have been wanting to do some gemstone stamps for a long time. We've had a diamond once before. We wanted to have a crisp diamond. We have a small, crisp 6mm diamond that's going to be turning on today, a larger 11mm diamond, as well as a crystal. Like, I feel like crystals are all out there. I love crystals. All of these
so pretty.
are amazing for patterning and mandala stamping too. Wait till you see some of the alts. And a faceted heart. So I'm not sure if you guys
see.
can see these. So
This
much.
is our favorite part because Claudia's really short. And
And she's
we
really,
try to-
she's holding it up there like the Statue of Liberty holds her torch. And the crystal, and just imagine all around the edges with the crystals. You could do a whole cluster of crystals.
Was that
Those
clear, you
are going to
guys?
be on, they're already here in the warehouse, and we're turning them on today. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, thanks.
We'll see you guys
Oh.
next week.
Oh, next week, we're going to tell them what we're going to do next week.
What are we doing next
We're
week?
doing border stamping.
Border
So
stamps.
more stamping, how to use your stamps in a weird, different way on just the border.
I love
You're
it.
going to love it. So tune in next week and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Thank you.